It's your Mibo today of Autocentric. It's another episode of very useful information on auto maintenance. Today we're looking at your gearbox, how to maintain it, what you need to do, and what you need not to do. It's very important. It's a very important part of your vehicle, and we thought it noteworthy to share with you. Let's do this, guys. You need to open your engine compartment to get to your transmission dipstick. Remember what we called it, the transmission dipstick. Now with this dipstick, it's right over here, and this is the dipstick. Now from the fluid here, in this case now, it's clean. Now the first thing you want to check is the color. The color of the transmission can tell you a whole lot about the condition of that transmission fluid, and also the condition of the transmission itself or your gearbox. So now in this case, the color is pretty clean, and that's a good sign. Second thing you want to check is the odor. If you've got any burnt smell on it, smells good. This is not bad at all. Also, on some transmission dipstick, you can have cold and hot. Now that means the point where the transmission fluid should be at cold state and at hot state. Now it's a bit different from checking your engine oil level on your engine oil dipstick. For the transmission, you need to let the engine run, but for the engine will be at cold state. But for transmission, it's best to let the engine run to optimal temperature. Okay, you can give it say 5 minutes. Run the gear lever across all the shift points, as from park to reverse, neutral, drive, and any lower gear. Run it across again from the P to the last gear and back up again into P. Come out of the car, engage your handbrake, then come here to check the transmission level. With that, you should get proper, and of course you should be on leveled ground like we are on now. Not on a tilted ground, but leveled ground. Leveled surface is also important. Then you check the transmission level. Now that said, then another point is we need to know the proper transmission fluid. Now a lot of our people run into that trouble because they just buy any transmission fluid out there and you think it's fine. No, it will ruin your gearbox. Usually on some vehicles, you would have the transmission type written on it. It might be, for this now, it's a Mitsubishi Genuine ATF SP3. So you need to get that from your Mitsubishi dealer. So on the dipstick, you would find it. It will say for your transmission fluid. For this model of Mitsubishi, it says the SP3. Get to your dealer, you would get it. If you can't, look in your owner's manual. There will be an alternative to it. Do you understand? Don't just go and buy any transmission fluid in the market. A lot of times, people run into trouble by just buying any transmission fluid out there. You don't want to run into that kind of trouble. There are specifications for it. If you drive a 2012 vehicle and another person drives a 2001 vehicle, your transmission fluids and specifications will be totally different. So don't get it twisted. If you get it twisted, you'll pay for it real bad. You might end up ruining your gearbox. You don't want to buy a gearbox now. They are expensive to replace. So getting this right information is very important to you. Please remember to check. And I mean, you should replace your transmission fluid minimum once a year. What did I say? Once a year. Do not forget that rule of thumb. Once a year, you should change your transmission fluid. So if you've never changed your transmission fluid, you might be in trouble now. If you've been using your car for over a year, 2 years, and you've never changed your transmission fluid, might be trouble looking around the corner. Also, apart from checking the transmission fluid and also the transmission fluid specification, another thing is your transmission filter. Every transmission or gearbox has a filter in it. So you need to ask your mechanic to help you check and replace when it's due for replacing. Okay, so not just to wash it, no. That's why you have replacement parts, because you should replace them.